For centuries, Neverwinter stood in the cold and savage wilderness as a warm, glittering beacon of civilization. However, the Jewel of the North fared no better than the rest of Faerun against the ravages of the Spell Plague. Further destruction was visited upon the weakened city by a devastating event known as the Ruining. Today, the once majestic city teeters on the edge of total annihilation. Even as the ruins are being reclaimed and rebuilt, dark forces are at work, seeking control of powers beyond our imagination. Now more than ever, the city promises death to the timid, glory to the bold, and danger for all. Heroes, you are desperately needed. Come to Neverwinter and vie for glory.
Yeah, so this is D&D's Dungeons & Dragons big campaign, basically kicking off right here at Gen Con. It's for Neverwinter, as you can tell from the way that the booth is decorated. But we have a lot going on here. The whole goal with the Neverwinter campaign, just to give you a little backstory, was we wanted to really create a shared experience for many different players with story being at the core. So the Neverwinter setting was revisited, as it's a setting that's very familiar and much loved by many players. It's got a lot of history, it's got a lot of backstory, and really just the way that Neverwinter is positioned now with trying to rebuild after the Spell Plague, it's just rife for heroes to come to Neverwinter and help rebuild. And as you can see, there are 3 different factions here vying for control of Neverwinter. So one of the things that we're doing at Gen Con is this big mass adventure where we're asking people to sign up to choose a faction to support. They will find QR codes spread throughout the convention center. If they have a smartphone, they can go ahead and scan those codes. And when they do, they unleash armor for their faction, and they also get points for their faction. The faction that has the most points will affect the upcoming D&D Encounter season. We'll stat out that faction's armor, and we'll send it out as treasure cards for the players to use in their game.
Cool.
So my faction, just FYI, is in the lead. Thank you. New Neverwinter.
What types of products are coming out in conjunction
with Neverwinter?
Yeah.
That's the part that's really cool. There's something, I think, probably for every fantasy enthusiast, no matter what you're into, there's probably a way for you to engage with Neverwinter. We have the Neverwinter campaign setting, which comes out in August. We have Neverwinter D&D fortune cards, which come into play when you're playing in some of our in-store programs or at your home games. We have Legend of Drit's board game. We have the Dungeons & Dragons comic book series, the Neverwinter Tales, that was written by R.A. Salvatore and his son Gino. Also by R.A. Salvatore, he has a new novel coming out in October, appropriately called Neverwinter. There is also a new Facebook game that's in beta right now by Atari. It's called Heroes of Neverwinter. They're demoing it over here. It looks really cool. So no matter what your interest is, if you like reading, if you like video games, if you like board games or the tabletop RPG, we've got you covered. There's definitely something for you.